back. It's Joy. I am hopping along both on YouTube and Instagram for the Autoimmune Awareness Hop. I am so glad that Mayhem Crafts Tara put this together because there are 80 different diseases that are autoimmune that are out there, at least the ones that we know about. And 23.5 to 27 million Americans, or 7% of our population, suffer from some sort of autoimmune disease. So before I get into more about autoimmune diseases, I just wanted to share that my project is featuring Pink Fresh Studios hot foil products, stamps, some stencils, and some dies, using the Beautiful Blooms collection. So I started out by hot foiling my GeoBlocks black background plate, and I used that with a Glimmer matte gold foil, and I made sure that my platform was nice and hot, and the way that you know that it's ready is once the blinking light goes solid, then you are ready to go. So I used hammer mill paper for mine, and like I said, the matte gold glimmer foil, and I revealed that it came off very nicely. I didn't have any type of overfoiling or anything else. From what I understand, the trick is to make sure that you've got your foil cut down almost to the size of your plates. Next, I used the Fancy Script foil plates, and I used You Are Amazing, because I think everyone with an autoimmune disease is amazing with what they have to go through. And I did exactly the same process on the same paper. But the reason I say that everyone with an autoimmune disease is amazing is that you can go one day, run, full speed ahead, and then it literally knocks you on your butt for 3 or 4 days. And there is no rhyme or reason. You have no idea when that's going to happen, but you know that it's going to, and you live your life every day waiting for the next foot to drop. And I think that that's going to be a common theme that you will hear throughout this hop. So the next thing, going back to my card, was I stamped the Beautiful Blooms with Versamark ink and added gold embossing powder to that after treating it with my anti-static tool. And I heated that with my Wagner heat gun. I think that that's the best gun out there. I know that there are others, but I own 2 of these because I love them so much, because I have 2 workstations and I don't want to move them because I love them that much. So they're always on my desk or right next to it. So if that tells you how much I love them. And then from there, I am using a wonderful 4-layer stencil that comes with the Beautiful Blooms. And I took a black marker and I just rubbed over where it says stencil 1, stencil 2, 3, and 4, just so that I would know which was which. I think that that's just a good tip to use. It makes it, easier. So my first layer, I decided to use Altenew Crisp Dye inks to color my flowers. And my first one was Rose Quartz, because it's the lightest. And I put that through all of the flowers. Now, before I removed my first set of stencils, I did go in with Pink Pearl just to add another layer of dimension, and I did that just around the inside of the daisy and around the bottom tips of the other flowers. That's not a necessary step. I just kind of like dimension and color and variations in my florals. So that's something that you can choose, but what I love about these stencils are it takes all of the guesswork out of coloring. I mean, you don't have to worry about Copic coloring or using water brush or your zigs. I mean, it's quick and easy coloring. And I left in all of this process so that you could see really how quick it goes. I mean, I think I made this in less than 15 minutes, and I'm thrilled with the way it turned out. So I'd love to know in the comments below if you've tried these 4-layer or multi-layer stencils. Let's see what you think of them. So then I bring in my second stencil and I line that up. And I am using a white glassboard studio mat, and I had that magnetized. So I'm just using magnets on that to hold my stencils in place. I love this board because I don't have to have a glass mat and another magnetic thing, and I don't have to use pixie spray all the time. I mean, it makes microcrafting so easy. So I highly recommend this. It comes in multiple colors. I don't have an affiliate link, but I will link it below so that you can get your hands on it if you want to. I know other crafters do have discount codes. In fact, I will leave one of them below. I think I used Desiree's from Include a Thank You. I used her code, so I will just leave her code below. So then you'll see that I removed that, and look how perfectly those flowers are colored. That's amazing to me. Absolutely amazing. I bring in my third stencil now. The third stencil will cover the bigger areas of like the inside of the daisy and the larger parts of the foliage. I chose to use yellow, which would be the Autoimmune Warm Sunshine, for the centers of my daisies. You can use whatever makes you happy. That's what made me happy. So I used my itty bitty cottontail blending. I think I'm getting that right from Rabbit Holes to stencil everything. So I put the yellow in, and then I move on to Altenews, I believe, Firefly ink to do the foliage. At first, I went on with a really light coat, and then I decided to go on heavier. So you'll see me kind of work between the different leaves to get the blend that I want. But again, it takes it out very easy. Now, do you notice my brush holder? I love that thing. I know that you can get it on Walmart.com. You can get it on Amazon. But it's got little rubber flowers in there that hold the brushes perfectly. And I think it'll fit all kinds of different size brushes. I just use them for my mini blending brushes. I love it. Half of it, I've got 10 brushes for all the colors of the rainbow. And one side I have marked dye, which I think you can see in the video. And then the other side of it, I have it marked DOX for distress oxides, because I do not mix pigment inks or hybrid inks with my dye inks, but I have no problem using the same brushes for multiple dye inks. I just kind of clean them off on a paper towel or baby wipe as necessary. So I just thought I'd mention that. Now, see how I just love how beautiful that is when you reveal the stencil. So I'm moving into the fourth and final stencil, and that is the fine detail for the foliage. You will also notice that there are 2 different floral images on each stencil, and that's because the Beautiful Blooms stamp set comes with 2 sets of florals. I chose the one, but you absolutely could do all 6 floral images. I just wanted 3. That's kind of what my brain works in, or the odd number, so I stuck with the 3. So now I'm inking the Altenews ink in the color of Shadow Creek. I love this color. I'm a Kelly Green fan, and I just think this is the perfect foliage color. You tell me what you think. Now, another thing that's very nice about this beautiful bloom set, you've got dies that match it, and they come in one piece. So if you line up one area, you've lined up all three flowers. Awesome, if you ask me. So I taped those down with some low-tack tape, ran it through my platinum machine, and I got the perfect set of flowers. I mean, can you ask for anything easier? I am in love with this. So then I cut my geometrical layer down to, I believe, 3.5 by 4 3/4, and I mounted that onto a brushed gold mat at 3 1/4 by 5, and then onto a blush that was 4 by 5 1/4. Popped that up on foam tape, and as always, I used my Barely Art glue just so that I have wiggle room, because I never get my layers on straight. I think I've told you that 1,000 times. And I put that onto my A2 card base. Now I am taking my first floral, and I am gluing that down flat with my Barely Art glue. And then my other two flowers, I add dimension to using foam tape, and I had to cut it into little slivers to, fit the sizes of the flowers. So I guess I got a little bit ahead of myself. I used some gold jewelry wire just to add more dimension, and I'm putting that on there. And then I'm adding the popped up layer of flowers. So the daisy, I put one layer of foam tape on, and I put that kind of overlapping the first flower and the wire. And then for this next flower, I want to, is it a foxglove? I'm not sure what it is. I know I didn't color it the color of a foxglove, but I put 2 layers of foam tape on just so that it would be even more dimensional. I think you can tell by the shadow that I've got some pretty good dimension on there. And then to tie up my card, I put a sentiment on. Now, a little bit about the hop. You'll need to subscribe to Mayhem Crafts. You'll need to leave a comment on our video, leave a comment on mine, and then each other comment that you use, it's an additional entry. And then we've got some great sponsors. So thank you for hopping along, and have a great day. I'll see you next time.